So Chrissy and I have worked together for 9 years, almost 9 years, building Source, which is a back office services company. We also work with my younger sister, Amanda. At one point, we hired my brother-in-law. And some of our clients have ended up being family members throughout the years, so we know very, very well how weird this could get. And when you first approached us with this topic, and thank you for allowing us to do so, we didn't know the answer of how we make this work because we just kind of do it as a matter of course. So it really forced us to look at, okay, how do we make this work? And we really thought about that, and we came up with a few things that really make a difference for us in our business that I think the people in the room that work with family might really resonate with. Can I get a show of hands of who in the room has worked with family now or in the past? Now that's a lot. That's a lot. So it can get funky, right? So how much time do we have to talk about it?
2 minutes. Let's go.
2 minutes. All right. No fun. Okay. So really, at the cornerstone of everything is respect. Respect to us, and by the way, I'm talking because I like this stuff and Chrissy doesn't. She does a lot more behind the scenes, but this is my jam. Respect means admiring the people that you work with first and foremost. Oh, there we go. Yes, we have fun slides today. First and foremost, it's taking the people in your family and saying, I know everything about you, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and I take it and I choose it every day anyway. And that's the cornerstone of what it is that you're building in your business. The next is a shared vision. So everybody in your family, regardless of the role, needs to have the same vision for what the business looks like and what those people want out of the business. We happened to start the business together. So we started with a shared vision of, okay, how do we build this company? How do we work together? And that's evolved over time. And we shared that vision, at least formally, every single year to make sure we were on the same page. But our visions also changed over time, so we're constantly doing informal check-ins of like, hey, that's no longer important to me. Or she adopted kids and I had kids, and when those things happened, our lives changed. Therefore, that vision could not remain the same. So we had to make adjustments. So that was really important. That's what we think is our foundation. Next is the clear boundaries, okay? And those are the walls of the house that we're building here, right? When you're building a house, you got to figure out where the walls are. So where are your walls? Where's your walls in business? Where are your walls in your personal life? Where's your walls with your time, with your mental capacity, with what you want to share and what you not want to share? And you have to be really honest about those things and with each other and everybody that you work with in your family and say, hey, these are my hard lines. And then the receiver, and we've done this really well on both sides, is say, I'm going to respect those. Those aren't up for negotiation. Maybe they're up for clarification, but those are hard and fast rules for you. An example is you heard me refer to her as Chrissy. One of my boundaries for myself, Chrissy could care less, is that this woman works her ass off every single day. And I'm like, you deserve to have a first name around here. So that's what I tell everybody in my business and everyone that interacts with us is like, hey, she's Chrissy while the sun's up. She's my mom when the sun's down. And that's my boundary. And she respects that. But at the same time, she doesn't really care. But she has boundaries that I don't really get, but I respect them anyway. The next one, do you want to talk about the next one really quickly?
So, yeah, this is not my jam, it's hers. So, but we talked about the foundational stuff and vulnerability came. So we're all good at certain things and not good at other things. And we have to be vulnerable to each other of what we like, what we don't like. And gratefully, what I'm good at, she's not good at, but what she's good at, I'm not good at. And so we will always rely on each other to do certain things. And we say we're one really good person, but it takes that vulnerability every single day to make it work, to say, I'm not good at this, I need you to take this over.
And then the next slide, so then we're building a house, right? No one really thinks about the roof, it's just kind of there, but it shields everyone from the elements. One thing that we did very naturally, but this is the one thing that we see people get frustrated in, is equal work ethic. We show up in our company every single day and give 100%. Now, life does not allow you to give 100% every day. Sometimes you show up and you only have 30% to give that day. Or some days you only have 70% to give, or sometimes that lasts an entire season. We've committed to each other that we're gonna give 100% of what we have. So there's never an expectation of you've got to always being the high performer. You gotta burn the midnight oil every night, but we can count on each other that this lady's gonna show up for me
Have
every
you
time.
ever had a big fight?
We've had on details, but not on this. So I know every day she's giving 100% and I'm giving 100%. Now, the details of it, which is one of the United Front, which is the next one that's up there, we know when we disagree, we have to get in the room and duke it out. And we have this thing that we do that says, is this the hill you're willing to die on? So when we really disagree, almost every time, sometimes somebody goes, yeah, I'm not that committed in it. So that's where we back out. But we do that behind doors, so when we're going out to the people that work with us, they know that we're on the same page all the time. But yeah, we have duked it out in the back room before,
Yeah.
especially in the early days.
You know, there's two things in your presentation I think applies greatly. One, somebody adopted kids. Who adopted kids? After you already had kids.
Yes.
But I'm her favorite.
That's why I was late. That's why I was late today. They had to get on the school bus at 8 and I had to get here. I'm fine.
That's an extended love there. That certainly helps in what you're doing and how you run your business and everything.
Yeah. And my biological, I have 3 biological and 3 adopted, and they welcome them as their sisters, and that's something, you know, where we're on the same page, where they didn't necessarily like that, but now it's like, yep, I'm gonna embrace it because that's what's important to me. So that's, it certainly helped. And in business,
Okay.
we respect each other that way too.
All right, is that?
We have 2 more points.
All right, go ahead.
I'll go really quick. So we ended on shared work ethic. I think it's important to say, or equal work ethic, that that applies to every family member in the business, unfortunately. Like there's sometimes, there's people in your company that it's like, okay, well maybe they just like clock in, clock out. The family dynamic, you gotta, everyone they have the under the hood information. They know how much you care and they know how deeply, so everybody has to equally show up or resentment can breed. Luckily, we haven't seen that in our business, but we see other people's businesses. What we do is help other people's businesses, and we can see that resentment and that frustration come right at that equal work ethic part. We did United Front already, where we come at the same time, and also the other thing to know about that, we show up singing the same song, but for the people in the company that, like my sister, who people think that she's got kind of the in, she doesn't. She respects the boundary that we have set, and she agrees, because we all have the shared vision that it's like, that's not my jam, you can go talk to them, but I don't got their ears. So like that's kind of understood between everybody. And then the final thing, which I think is the most special, is we yield to each other's experience. So each one of us and everybody that you work with in the company, but especially family, has a unique perspective on how they see the world and their experiences and different skill sets. And what's really beautiful is when we get to honor that with one another by, Chrissy is sometimes really good at something and I am so not good at it, or vice versa. And I say, you know what, I'll let you take the lead on this one because that's better served for your skill set. And then she does that with me, and that brings her joy to let me lead in that, and it brings me joy to help her.
Seeing you lead is exciting for me.
Yeah, but yes, we do use the hill you're willing to die on. And the final point is that the thing that will break this whole thing is ego. Pride has absolutely no place in your businesses whatsoever, and especially with family. You're building a business, yes, but if what you're building, if your vision is self-serving and you're not thinking about the impact of your family, yes, the business might grow, it will be more difficult, but if you don't be intentional in doing these things, your family dynamic in that business will not succeed. And at the end of the day, what's more important? We want a healthy business, we want a successful business, but not at the expense of the people that love us and quite honestly are going to be with us till the end. So we got to really look at making sure both are taken care of, and it is possible.
That's heartfelt, very passionate.